The final act. The real face of the murder. The new morning in the town had opened very well. The detective had solved the case. Everything was fine. The last difficult task was waiting for the detective and the police. All they had to do was to reveal the perpetrators of the murder. It was not difficult to catch them. The difficult thing was to make them confess to the murders. So how were they going to do that? Guesswork and suspicions were not enough. The court would want tangible evidence. A plan had to be made. In the police chief's office, the detective and the chief were sitting and thinking about what they could do. The detective stood up and said he had a good idea. He started to tell the chief about the plan. "Yes, that's a great plan, Mr. Kane," the detective said. "But it's going to be hard to do what you say. We have 3 people to convince. If the plan doesn't go the way you want it to, we'll not only be disgraced, we could both lose our jobs. Have you thought this through? Look, I'm willing to risk everything. I'll put these guys in jail. I'll do whatever it takes." "Okay, then if you're that confident, I'm with you," said the manager. The detective stood up and started walking towards the town square. The weather was clear and sunny. It was as if new hope had dawned on the town. The detective started looking for the old monk. First he went to the town square, then to the old clock shop. The monk was nowhere to be found. He started walking around the town square. After a few minutes he saw the monk coming from the south side of town. James Gerard's office was right there. He thought he was coming from there. The monk came and sat next to the detective. He asked in a polite voice, "What happened, my son?" The detective called out to the man in a low voice, "I found the killer. It's only a matter of time before I catch him. He made himself known. My guess was right. I'll have him caught by 9 o'clock tonight." With these words, he started walking straight towards the police office. He noticed the old man following him. That was exactly what he wanted. He met the chief in front of the police station. They started talking to each other. The old monk started watching them from a distance. Not much could be heard, but it was seen in the footage that they could not agree on something. Suddenly, they started to push. The manager shouted and pushed the detective, whereupon the detective grabbed the manager by the collar and shouted loudly. The other police officers immediately intervened and separated the two. "Manager, you are crazy. Leave town early in the morning or I will arrest you." The detective pushed the police officers away angrily. Things were going the way the monk wanted. The detective was walking around the streets, exhausted and angry. He was looking around angrily while lighting his cigarette. It was as if he had lost everything. He went to the guest house and entered his room. The monk was following him, not letting go. Towards the evening, he left his room and went downstairs. He checked his gun, lit his cigarette, and started walking. It seemed he was going to use his gun. He was sitting in the square and smoking his cigarette calmly. The monk approached him and said, "No, why are you so calm? It seems you are alone, but I will help you." The old monk was very cunning. He was trying to take advantage of the detective's situation and turn things the way he wanted. "No need for help. I will do this myself. I know who committed the murder. I will take care of this while I am going home. I will kill him. Even if they hang me, I will do it." After saying these words, he stood up and left. The night was silent everywhere. Only the sound of birds and stray dogs in the town could be heard outside. He was in front of Detective James Gerard's office. He was waiting for him to come out. The rich businessman left the office and got into his car. The detective started following him on horseback. As he was heading towards his mansion, away from the town, he suddenly appeared in front of him on horseback. He pulled out his gun and pointed it right at him. His bodyguard immediately reached for his gun. He threatened him by saying, "Calm down or I'll kill you both." The businessman told his bodyguard to wait. "Yes, Mr. Gerard, that's it. Either you surrender or I'll shoot you," he shouted. At that moment, police appeared from all sides. The manager was at their head. "You're just in time, Chief," the detective shouted. Suddenly, he saw guns pointed at him. He was stunned. "I'm arresting you for armed threats," the manager said. The police took his gun, grabbed him by the arm, and started to take him away. "Hey, Gerard, I have evidence. I'll get you in jail," he shouted. Although he didn't show it, the businessman was scared by these words. He shook the manager's hand and said, "Congratulations! You caught this bandit. This is our job. There was no other incident that evening. When he opened the door in the morning, the detective was sitting calmly and exhausted in his cell. There was no sound outside. Suddenly, he saw two police officers coming in. They said there was someone who wanted to talk to you and took the detective away. They took him downstairs and put him in a room. A few minutes later, a luxuriously dressed man walked in. James Gerard. He pulled up a chair and sat down, laughing at the detective. Do you think I can arrest him? No one can arrest me. No one can touch me. I am the richest man here. How did you do these things? It's all out there. How and why did you commit these murders? Asked the detective. If you know everything, answer it yourself, and let's see if your allegations are true, replied the businessman. It's very simple. You killed the small shopkeepers in town and bought their shops cheaply. After all, no one wants to buy something left by someone who was killed in their own shop, especially if these men's fingers are cut off. You bought their shops cheaply and became their property for free. Of course, if they didn't have anyone, you bought their houses and lands. You ran the shops as the sole owner and put the money from there in your safe. The houses and lands became your insurance. Congratulations, Mr. Kane, the man called out. Correct and good observation. Yes, I did all of it, and I don't regret it. Now let's come to the cut fingers. The old monk came to you and told you about a secret organization. He made you an offer to make them known to everyone and expose them. He will kill the shop owners on the same day every week and make everyone believe that they are performing a ritual by cutting off their fingers. In this way, he will both ruin their business and ensure that they are hated and violent by the people. You will both benefit. Yes, it is true that everything happened like this, but no one will believe you. You cannot achieve anything without evidence. At that moment, the prosecutor, the police chief, and the mayor of the town entered. Mr. Gerard confessed himself and called out, "We are arresting you for the murder you committed." The detective leaned back, lit a cigarette, and happily agreed. My arrest, our fight with the director, all we wanted was to get your confession. You did that too. Everyone in this room heard it. There's a box behind you that looks like a wonderful wall. Everyone heard you talking clearly. The old man confessed everything anyway. Now you're facing a 30-year sentence at the very least. The two police officers who entered the room held the man and took him to the detention center. Yes, Mr. Kane, we are grateful to you. Everything was solved thanks to you. We will give you gifts and medals tomorrow in the square. Don't forget this and be there tomorrow. The morning opened and everyone gathered there, except for one detective. They started looking for him everywhere, but he left the town he came from, because there was nothing left to do. He came there to solve the murder, not for any reward. We will have other stories like this. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, because better stories await you in the future.